And starting the stream.
Hello and welcome back to Shadowbringers.
Hey everybody, I'm back, and we're going to do some more of the storyline here in just a moment.
Grab your hankies, it's about to get heavy.
Alright, let's go. So we're following in her footprints. Tesleen casts her gaze around the inn, hoping to spot Alice. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. Alright, let's go find her.
We're a biker gang now.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Okay, while I'm out here, I'm gonna go get that aether current. And there's my destination.
Oh shit, there's a sightseeing log up there.
Alice is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size.
Tiny elephant footprints.
Small footprints. Alright. The small footprints lead off to the northwest.
You know, I feel like I'm gonna listen to Amarang's music if ever I need to just zone out.
Mm-hmm.
It's real nice.
It's so chill.
It's like I say, it's why I call this place like lo-fi desert land. It's lovely.
It's fab. The footprints continue to the northwest. I've been ambushed. Oh, let's help this person out too. There we go.
I'm on the same quest you are.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not lucky enough to have a decked out tank with them.
The footprints curve off around to the west. There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand.
It's the sandworms.
Get back here. Is that? It can't be. So what to say? Impressive? Or you almost lost that one? I'll say impressive.
Always be nice to others.
Always.
Be snarky to the brother.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about.
She has a
I
real
knew you'd
push
turn
up
up
for
sooner or
jumping off
later,
shit, dude.
but I had been hoping for sooner.
How are you? A little confused, but okay.
We fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal.
Cozy with a cat daddy.
But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the flood.
Ooh, pardon me.
100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger sin eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason, which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eater's victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
It's just a matter of time, more for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. LSA would have you help her finish her patrol. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater. But you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your aether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out here, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Alright.
Hold up, there is a maid outfit for the Chocobo?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, yeah. Forgiven Cowardice is the name of this one.
I always like that all of the Sin Eaters are forgiven something.
Mm-hmm.
It's clever.
Yeah. On to the next spot.
Oh my god, I'm so slow here. One ground, holy shit.
And one more spot. Over here. Another Forgiven Cowardice.
Should probably party up.
Probably. Make it easier for you to find me.
And I can give you a ride.
Alright, back to the Aetherite. Alright, drop me off right here.
The animation of that car is so good.
How did you fare? Alright. Ah, I thought there might be one or two lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat, much like the void scent. They have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a virtual swarm of lesser kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to call their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play, and you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Tesseline, shall we? Alright, let's go in. LSA tells me you've helped out on our patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly LSA has missed your company. Everything is always, if Lithingale was here, she would... LSA says, that's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect her methods. Honestly, after seeing her in action, I can understand why. The way she leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. Yellisay gasps. Hee. I'm only teasing, though I've no doubt she deserves all the admiration she gets, just as you do. Alright, now what's Tesseline got to say? Tesseline has the air of a woman being pulled in 10 directions at once. I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There's 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with LSA? What? And twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death, LSA says? Surely there's something we can help you with. Tesseline says, I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. We can help, or you can start by helping me sort out the larder, LSA. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Pawnil, Todden, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. Alright, let's go talk to these guys. There's Pawnil. Doesn't look like the most comfortable of bunk, but I suppose it doesn't matter. So, thank you.
That looks absolutely perfect to me.
And here's Todden.
Also, I'm muted because I'm eating really crunchy things.
Okie dokie. Todden glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. And then there's this little guy. Halric.
Oh no.
Poor little guy. Halric remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheeks. The texture of his skin has hardened into something akin to plaster. Alright, let's talk to Tesleen again. You've seen the patients? How were they? Good. That's good, Tesleen says. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I am concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. Alice says, we should leave you to have that discussion, then. I was going to take her to Morsuk, if you have errands that need doing. Tesleen says, well, I suppose there is one thing. Tesleen continues, would you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Kessard's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Why didn't we get that when we were there? Alice says, come then, Lithengale, there's something I want you to see. Right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course. All right.
Drop you at the 8th, right?
All right. Good plan.
That mount seriously needs an action. That isn't. That's just a horn.
Beep beep.
Mm-hmm.
There's Ron. And Alice. Alice says, let's see about that nectarine, shall we? Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ron's work? I gotta get this to stop. There. Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Ah, yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes. Fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one. Free of charge. Well, that's nice. And I would think so. I mean, all those frogs were a little bit... Alice says, Gods, I've never seen a moored merchant give anything away. Something for nothing? Never seen that before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh, yes. I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. Ahem, the worms if you please. Only the best wrigglers for you. Come again, my friends. Yes, yes. Alice says, right. That's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetherite to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top.
For some reason, my brain hears the Mords like Khajiit.
Yes.
Yes. Mullet has the wares if you have the coin.
Kind of like a cross between that and Namazu.
Right.
It's the wrong way.
Do you want me to just fly you up there?
Nah. Let's see if I can figure my way out.
Okay.
If I run into trouble.
Pretty sure it's just a staircase.
No, it's over here. There we go. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Gasp! Glazed wrigglers! You actually brought them! I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, alright? Only once! Never fails. Shall we?
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halrick's favorite fruit.
Looks delicious.
Most of the patients, Halrick included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandoned you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here.
Oh, LSA. I love your outfit.
And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, It's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
Poor little guy. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Ariange's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. Alright, time to go back to Tesleen. I'm just going to drive over there.
Dogs are going down south for some reason. I never find out why.
Okay. Tesleen says, "You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine?" A plump, sweet-smelling nectarine. Yes, I did. Thank you. Alice has explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others, and we've decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. A reprieve. Thanks to you, though, if his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Tesleen makes an effort to smile brightly. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for the welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, and I'll make us a nice stew.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
What am I gonna say? You needn't have gone to the trouble, or I'll have another bowl then. No, I'll have another bowl.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs.
Oh dear.
I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one.
She's seen so much and done so much for others.
It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the sin eaters.
They're coming.
Oh dear.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Uh-oh. Oh dear. The soup wasn't made by Ron. Alright. Let's see what she's got to say. Lithingale, LSA. We have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandered out there alone... LSA says, we'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? Tesseline says, no, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't...
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
How-
I've been having Chinese food.
Nice. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Tesseline says, please, Halric, please be alright. Oh no. Elsie says, I'll cover the north and west then. You can take everything from here to the south. Oh dear. Alright.
Yeah.
There's a lot of something going on down there.
I feel more sorry for people that don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure.
Ah, that's a...
Maybe?
Yeah, that's maps. You see no sign of Halric. Maybe he went further west. Alright, let's look around again. You scan your surroundings in search of Halric and suddenly find yourself under attack. Uh-oh. Forgiven Folly? Alright, continue looking. Well, let's go up this way now. There it is.
It's definitely here. I remember it being here.
Oh no.
And for me to remember something, holy shit.
Yeah, it left an impression, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It is impressive. Oh boy.
Any sign of him?
There are things I'd like to say, but I won't.
Mm-hmm.
For various reasons.
No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Oh boy.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
Does this one just spawn at you, or is it a duty?
There it is!
I don't recall.
No, me neither.
Is that... Oh no!
Maybe you better drop out of the party just in case.
Halric!
Well done,
We
Tesleen.
have to run!
Oh no. Oh, that hurts.
Tesling! No!
I've seen this before and it still hurts to see it.
We all deserve happiness. Wherever we can find it.
Oh, Tesleen. We just met you and you're already leaving us.
The time left to you is precious. No one should die in vain. Mother, I...
Yeah. First time I saw this, I looked about like Alice I see in this. Mm-hmm. Poor Tisleen. God. Oh.
No!
My sentiments exactly. I'll say I'm right there with you. Oh. And poor Alice, her friend.
Ones with human faces. Make me feel things.
That's just gut-wrenching. Hi Jody, how you doing? God, it just hurts seeing that, even though I've seen it before.
Right, yeah, no, we don't fight her there because
Right.
Holminster.
Shh.
That's, well,
I'm sorry, Lithingal. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this. Alright, what's this tall drink of water got to say? Kasana said, sobbing. It's just so unfair. Tisleen was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. Indeed. And Wilford here, what's he got to say? I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I don't have the words without a body. We can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing. About giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Oh God. Okay. Alright, let's go see Halric here. Give the poor lad a little pat. Halric's got just to say. Halric is as unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the Sin Eaters made their escape. Oh, poor Alice. Give her a pat too.
This is like one of the few shared sections of Shadowbringers that actually hit.
It's what really sucked me in. Alice is lost in grief. So what'll I say? Alice? Or I've spoken with the carers? I'll just say Alice. Alice says, thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me. Wilfred says, sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Halric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Alice says, hurt? There wasn't even a fight. I was too late, too slow. And I thought I could protect you. Kasana says, you can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound. No one could have done any more. Alcé says, I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I can't be continuing in my role here. I hope you'll forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Halric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do, Wilford said. Alcé says, of course. She would have done the same. Alcé says, farewell, Halric. Keep Tesseline's words close to your heart. Kasana says, wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you feel, but surely this is a bit hasty? Do you even have any place to go? Alcé says, I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. This damned light, building without cease, it's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Eaters. But what if we corrected the balance? Even if it was only little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now hold on there, Rolfort says. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Alcé says, that's right. Alcé continues, we should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I've gained here to hurt them.
Imagine it's like, you can change the world. Yeah, that's what we do.
It's only a light bulb.
It's crazy. Oh, this one's going to be a clever one. I guess we just have to suck it up and get on with it.
Mm-hmm. Alright, back to the ship.
Ship.
The airship.
It's an airship?
Yeah, that's how we got here. Remember?
Oh, right, yeah, no. Sorry. Like, it has been a long time. Very long time since I've
Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Wrong way, Corgan.
If I remember
Okay.
rightly, there's a dungeon cave coming towards us now, isn't there?
Mm.
I've lost my bike. No, I've lost my car. Okay. We're going back to Monster.
Actually further than that.
Oh, right, yeah. I see the,
Yeah.
the map.
Okay.
I really love this area. Like, it's very open and sparse, but I think
But it's beautiful.
It's all brought together by the soundtrack as well. That lo-fi, just sort of, everything is just kind of nicely rolling along. And, you know, it's getting on with it, you know?
Yeah. It's chilling and thrilling and doing its best for what it's got going on.
Yeah.
I've got my mana pool all out of whack. There we go. There's Alcé. I gotta talk to her.
I think as well, if we are doing a dungeon, I might enlist Tea to say.
Alcé says, forgive me, Lithengel. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against the blight with kindness, I must fight it my own way. With steel. Miss Alcé, Kessard says. Is there anything I can get you? You're Swiss to Samuro. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. Cassard says, as you wish. Dun 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 dun.
Guess we'll just go back to the Crystarium. No. But you want to take the plate downstairs? I'll be back with you.
Okie dokie. Elsa says, remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. Or other places. But the wind did help to clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out. Shall we? Alright, we're going back to see the Exarch in the ocular. Docile Gate. Hello, Colleen. How you doing? Gatekeeper says, do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Say the word, and I'd be happy to escort you. Alright, let's go. You always say that, man.
So do I have business with the Crystal Exarch? Well,
Do I have business?
I am here to save all of your lives. Now let me see him.
What's Alice got to say? Actually, let's see if Alfie has anything to say now that we're back with his sister. Welcome back. You'll have to share the tale of your journey once the two of you are rested. Okay. Let's see what. Thank you for seeking me out, Lithengal. It meant a lot to have you there at my side. And looking at Alphino, I say he's as eager to begin this discussion as I am. Elsie continues, I say we lay our experiences before the Exarch and step back to see what kind of picture they make. Then we can decide where to go from here. Alright. Alright, mister. What do you got to say for yourself? The Crystal Exarch welcomes you back to the Crystarium. Okay.
You know, I have to very actively not call the Crystal Exarch what I usually call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really quite hard.
Oh, voiced cutscene.
Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
Glad to hear it, Colleen.
Better is not the word I would use.
Damn right, Alice said damn right.
Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right. And I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness. Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Light Wardens. And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist. Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Light Warden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
I have a feeling Yulmore might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters. Vorthra's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Yulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience. He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens. Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity.
Alright, what are we gonna say? Are you sure that eliminating the Wardens will be enough? Or, I'm not sure I follow. Yeah, I'm following this pretty damn well. Let's see. Let's go with the first one.
Your uncertainty is understandable, given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then.
I want an option that says who you want me to kill.
Really? Story time.
In the ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds. This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially.
Ooh,
now,
pardon me.
Let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source. And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence. If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold. As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, a single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds. What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as Umbral Calamities. 7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed. At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining. It is the Sin Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Light Wardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Norvrant, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we put each and every Light Warden to the sword.
We've been doing our best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Light Wardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Hallminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Oh dear.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphino and Alize as well.
My lord.
Pray, lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
Coming up to the first dungeon. Alright, what more has he got to tell me? Hallminster Switch is in the north of Lakeland, so we best make haste with our preparations. In fact, meet me outside the Crystarium at the crossroads northwest of the center gate, and I'll lead you there myself. Alright, time to go find him.
Where did you go?
Out the gate.
Well, I'm gonna hit the foot job and find you from there.
Okay. Alright, what's he got to say? Crystal Exarch says, all set? If we follow the road north, we will arrive at the northern staging point. The village itself lies not far beyond. Quickly now. I don't want to tangle with a big moth.
But it's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Isn't that on one of the hunt marks?
It's a B rank.
Yeah. It's papalotl.
Hmm.
Do you want me to see if I can steal Tig?
Yeah.
blends in with the surroundings.
Hmm. Alright, what's he got to say for me? Alright, let's see what the Exarch has to say. Holminster Switch is past these gates and through the woods. 'Tis not exactly a near neighborhood to the Crystarium, but as we occupy the same region, we have built up something of a cooperative relationship. What can we expect inside, Captain? Lena says, the town is beset by a swarm unlike any we have seen in recent years. We did our best to evacuate the villagers, but as many as half remain. Judging by the number of eaters present, we have good reason to believe that a light warden leads the attack. Alisay says, how convenient. It seems we have our chance to slay a warden sooner than we expected. Lena snorts. One does not simply slay a warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of these fiends? They hold more light inside them than any of our their underlings put together. Or than all of their underlings put together. Lena says, it can be struck down, aye, but its presence won't dissipate like the weaker kind. Vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being, a reckless young swordswoman perhaps, and turn her into a brand new warden. So I gotta bring a straw? Crystal Exarch says, well, you can leave that particular quandary to us. I must ask that the guard stand down and allow us to engage this leader of eaters alone. Exarch says, concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can. Lena says, but what if... Lena continues, understood, my lord. As captain of the guard, however, I will not watch you brave such danger without an escort from our ranks. I insist that I go with you. Crystal Exarch says, very well. Then our warden slaying party shall include myself, the Leviers, Captain Lena, and last but not least... me? Alright, fine, I'll go along. Let's do this!
Yeah, last but not least, and literally the most important person here.
The Crystal Exarch continues, a formidable group indeed. Into Holminster we go. Once we reach the Light Warden, do not hold back. We strike to kill.
Let me go to the restroom.
Alright. Holminster Switch is now accessible. The instance dungeon encountered in the Shadowbringers main scenario quest can be completed solo alongside a supporting party of NPCs or with friends. To make use of that feature, simply speak with one of your NPC companions near the entrance, blah 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 blah. When forming a party, you'll need to follow the same role restrictions imposed using Duty Finder. I'm not going to deal with that thing right now. We will go with the Duty Finder. But I could have picked up any of these guys. Alright. So we're just going to wait for Rory to get back. So what do you think, Janet? What do you make of it so far? If you're there.
I am. Here. I'm just chilling. Came in late. Had
Well.
company, but
Glad to have you with us nonetheless.
yeah, came in right as whatever that creature was that was being killed. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Was
I don't
converting.
know. I don't think it's. Yeah.
That was when Tesseline got shanked by one of the Sin Eaters.
Oh, okay.
That was what last time I knew was coming up, so we had ended the stream a little bit early so that people could be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I seen that last time. Because bits and pieces I'm remembering, but
You had seen a Sin Eater before that.
yeah, so following the story, like what we just read, I didn't see that part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if this is a measuring contest between me and the cat daddy, I think I know.
Now it's time to kick some butt.
Mm-hmm.
So what are those little icons below you?
Below me. All these down here, these are my skills and whatnot. So that I can
And you
fight.
select those?
Yep, I use those to cast spells and do attacks. Alright. I'm gonna queue us up.
Alrighty.
And here we go.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I figured I'd get Ash in for the healing, because healing this dungeon as a new healer is a little bit of a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to deal with that.
This is just a pain in general.
Yeah.
I'll take it relatively slowly. But not like slowly.
The person we got as our random.
It's nice to not be the only tiny one in a group for once. That feels pretty good.
Mm. So our random person is in a partial bunny suit. Alright, let's go.
That's what I was noticing.
Just
Looks like the dancers. Looks like the dancers.
That is their job.
I'm not gonna grab everything. I don't want to do that.
I did not mean to rescue.
Yeah, I thought I was tasty.
That was probably actually my fault. I don't think I actually picked that one up.
That's okay.
Definitely not grabbing all of these. I'll grab most of them. Not all of them in one go.
Whoops. I'm just gonna revive. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll just revive. Keep him up.
You want to explain yourself, Tim?
I'm not used to that pull being done that way.
Really? Most people go all the
I
way
gotta
to
mute
the
for a
end.
second.
I have done this more on trust than anything else.
Nah.
And they will only go so far as you go.
Yeah, this is the nice pull for this section. Could have gone all the way to the end.
Oh.
But I don't like doing that because I have trouble managing it.
I also only have one charge of essential.
Sorry about that. Mom called right in the middle of everything, and I had to tell her, you know, I can't talk right now, and I told you that.
You did?
My mother, I had told that, yeah. I told her that yesterday, that I was going to be busy all
I
day
know,
today.
but that was her response, right?
Well, I only have to tell you blah, 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 blah. I don't have time now.
What are you
Literally do not disturb mode.
Exactly.
Family does not override that.
Nor does gossip. Gossip least of all.
Everybody left you.
No, we're right here.
There you go.
Interesting fact about this thing's abilities. They're all medieval torture devices.
Hmm.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
And no. She's just gonna be standing there for a while. Oh, already
has a lively
I like
shirt.
the
Oh,
matte. Yeah, but it's the matte black.
yeah. Although it's not dyable. Just annoying.
Actually, you've given Elle the last fairly big problem.
Yeah.
So calm it down a little bit.
Swish Gremlin should be the first to die.
How many people are playing?
There's 4 people total in the dungeon.
Where it says light party?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You seem to have an impatient dragon.
Yes, Colleen, this game is a lot of fun. There is a learning curve when you get started, but it is a blast.
There she is.
There's also a free trial for this game if you wanted to give it a go without spending money on it. Poor Tesleen. It's Tesleen!
I have to go that far away.
Yeah, but the better split, the less damage took. It's a holdover from doing Savage in Stormblood. So it's just reflex.
Didn't have those puffy bits on the arm.
Actually, Gleep, you've started the third part. This is the fourth part.
Is Gleep Potato Queen?
No.
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 Potato Queen
Gleep is Gleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Potato Queen is a completely random person that's not in our group. Well, they're in the party in here, but they're not somebody that we play with normally.
Matchmaking.
Mm-hmm. Gleep can't get here yet.
Okay. So she's not high enough level.
Right.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to doing this stuff with her, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hell, I'm just really glad you're doing this because I get something to do.
Mm.
How high is she?
She's in the 60s, but she's got story,
Oh.
a lot of story behind or ahead of her before she can
Oh,
get to
that's
this.
high, though.
Yeah, she's done really fantastically well, I think.
Yeah.
She's made
for
great
sure.
progress
Okay.
leveling. She's come a long way in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Remember, Dig, if you're having trouble getting spells off, that's what life speed's for. It's really useful at this weird level.
I'm just not used to using it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me neither. But it really helps at this lower, weird sync level. Also remember,
Doing stuff
benefit-
like this right now.
Benefit 1 doesn't exist, Benefit 2 is your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I have not used Benefit 1 in a long time. Because I learned that difference of Cure versus Cure 2 on White Mage.
I use it if somebody's just needing topping up. But even then, I tend not to.
Ah, fuck, I did that before. Or after she died, so I can get sealed.
Aw.
Kind of, Lila.
Alright, cutscene coming up.
It gets kind of skeleton like. Pretty crazy.
It is something else. Now, if you look up this name, you'll find out a little bit about what that creature is meant to be an embodiment of.
This is Zuki playing Final Fantasy 14. Zuki and her clan. So is the release going to be delayed? Is that?
Yep,
Yes.
2 weeks.
Which gives me more time to get through this story with you guys on this. Oh, unchain me, unchain me! Help, help!
I got you.
I'm feeling
wife.
repressed. Thank you!
Nobody chains down my wife but me. Actually, Lauren definitely will be chained.
Yeah.
That's a big disappointment, I bet you, for you guys.
I mean, the people that actually care, yeah. The people like me who play other games, it's not much fun. I probably won't even notice it happen.
I mean, it's reasonable, though, that they delayed it. They gave us the reasons, and, you know, more respect to them for doing so.
Yeah, exactly. And giving it, you know, not waiting to the end date and saying, no,
Like, a rushed
we're
game
gonna
is
delay
forever
it.
bad, but a delayed game is eventually good.
Yeah. That's cool.
So glad I'm not going to have to place that anymore.
I have a
No.
macro for it that will place them on my target. I'm sad that that's going to go away.
So now when's the release date? December what?
Third?
Early access is the 3rd, official release is the 7th.
Okay. And you guys are all pervy.
Yeah.
I think that wasn't even strong enough to break my blackest night.
Oh, I'm getting chained up again.
Oh.
Imagine always like, how does it feel?
Thank you.
What kind of life would Rory be?
Take that! Yeah, chain me up. I'm gonna verblind you.
He keeps bonking me on the head. It's really annoying. gonna, like, hurt my ears.
Watch out for that tail.
Huh, taphophobia, fear of being buried alive. Interesting.
I guess to check her.
Nice.
I got played on.
Yeah. Of course you did. You were tank.
No, I usually give them to healers if they're good enough, but I wasn't able to commentate.
What just happened? Why is the invalid target and come back?
Somebody teleported, and I don't have that teleport yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell you
Also-
more.
Also, cutscene.
It's releasing its ether. Fall back. We cannot let it touch us. Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw.
That will not be necessary, Captain. Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption.
I brought my straw.
Suck it up, suck it up!
The blessing of light, and the hero who wields it now stands before you.
Lunch. I almost feel like I should hide my sunglasses so you can see both my eyes.
Behold, the monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
Scar. It can't be.
What's happening?
It's so beautiful.
They haven't seen the night sky in 100 years.
The warrior of darkness has come.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky. As it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true. My lord?
How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But, be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will. I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed. But for the present, I beg you, stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the wardens and restore darkness to the first.
Alright, what will you say? I will become the warrior you need? It sounds like a glorious adventure, or it seems I've no choice but to fight. I'm going with it sounds like a glorious adventure.
On behalf of the first, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exar, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Town. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose. And I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failure.
Hey, Ixel, how's it going, man?
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin Eater is defeated.
Yeah, I just restored darkness to the world, or at least to this area. So it is a little dark in this cutscene.
The game itself, Exile.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villages.
It'll brighten up soon.
And make our way back to the Crystarium.
They're glorying in the fact that they've brought night back to this area right now. Alright, let's talk to the Exarch. How quickly you have justified my faith in you.
Yes, it's supposed to be dark. We've just sucked light from this entire world. At least this area.
So many lives saved, and the sky itself heralds your success. A single victory in a larger struggle, perhaps, but a momentous one nonetheless. Alright, so the trust parties let you run around in dungeons with just these NPCs. I might show that some other time. Alright, so the Exarch is looking ahead to the immediate future. This world that we're in this expansion has been stuck in the light for 100 years. Just light. We're restoring balance right now. Alright, so the Exarch says, now, as for how we proceed from here. Lena says, the villagers we evacuated earlier have arrived safely in the Crystarium. They seem to be accepting the situation for the moment. Most folk are far too distracted by the sky to worry about wounds or lost homes. They whisper and wonder if the Warrior of Darkness has come. Why am I using her accent? I'm not meaning to!
Because it is a really easy accent to
This is true. Alright, so the Exarch says, 'tis to be expected. Lithingal, I must ask a favor of you. Would you be so kind as to conceal your involvement in this endeavor for the time being? Yeah, sure, I'm incognito. I'm undercover. Whatever. That's why the sunglasses. Nobody knows it's me. Exarch says, seeing the light recede from Lakeland is a momentous occasion, and many will be swept up into a maelstrom of excitement and confusion. Should you come forth as the legendary Warrior of Darkness, I fear that no matter how good your intentions, such an appearance will throw the city into disarray. Alphino says, I find myself in agreement with the Exarch, although my concerns are more focused on Yulmore. Alfie continues, it may be best if you maintain a low profile until we see how Vothri responds to all of this. Sound plan? Alright, yeah, sure. The Exarch says, my thanks. Though we cannot freely celebrate your success, pray allow your heart to be buoyed by the joy of our citizens, a joy you surely brought into being. And he continues, and I must ask the same discretion of you, Captain. 'Tis my intention to share with our people the tale of a great warrior who stood in defiance of the Sin Eaters. This unnamed champion defeated the Light Warden and has since departed to parts unknown. Yes? Lena says, as you wish, my lord. Your penchant for mystery is nothing new, and I will encourage folk to not question this either. Although, I expect to be told the whole truth of it one day. About all of you. Crystal Exarch says, with that settled, I shall return to the Crystarium and make an address to the people. These explanations and adjustments will consume much of my time, so pray take the opportunity to rest and recover from your exploits, and to think you'll not even need to shutter the windows to enjoy a dark and peaceful night's sleep. Alright. Lena says, I must stay behind and coordinate the evacuation of the remaining survivors. And I hesitate to ask after all you've done here today, but could I ask you to pass on a message on your way to the Pendants? Please let Bangui know that we're bringing in a number of injured and that any restoratives in the markets need to be reserved for the infirmary. You can count on me.
Right. I am desired by somebody else, so I'm going to leave you here for today.
Alright, see you later.
Have fun. And, good luck.
Thank you. Alright, Alfie says, we should start making our way back to the Crystarium. Slowly, mind you. It wouldn't do to arrive too soon after the Exarch. Alice says, I'm staying behind as well. There's something I need to check on in Holminster. Alphino says, we already went through the village top to bottom, Alice. We should all take the chance to rest, you included. Alice says, I knew one of those eaters, and I can't rest, not now. Tesleen. So please, I wish to be left alone for a while, and that means you as well, Lithengal. I shall be cross if you try to follow me. I promise I'll find you later when I feel myself again. Alphino says, just you and me then, shall we? Yes, day breaks. Oh, I should have went to the Crystarium that way. We'll drive on over. Actually, no. We will, well, yeah. We'll drive over and I'll get that Aetherite on the way. And that Aether Current. Ooh, pardon me. Oof. This will make getting around later easier. Mm-hmm. Alright, so almost back to town. Here we are coming up on the gates. Avoid these mobs. And there's the Crystal Tower again. Alright. Speak with Alphino in the Crystarium. Where is he? Up by the Aetherite. Okay. Let's go. Find our boy Alpha No. There he is. Well, the Crystarium seems relatively ordered, wouldn't you say? The Exarch's speech must have been reassuring to hear. On the contrary, there is something jubilant in the air. I have a feeling this night won't be quite as peaceful as our hooded friend predicted. I think I shall take a brief stroll around the town before retiring to my chambers. Once you've discharged your duty to Brage, I suggest you do the same. Sleep well. I hope untroubled dreams find you and Alice both. Mm-hmm. Alright, looks like we're going over to the merchant area. We'll just run over there.
Already left?
Yeah.
Because the fighting's done?
Well, they're off doing other stuff and letting me do my thing, yep. Alright, let's talk to Big Cat Hey. Braggy says, "Aye, what can I do for you? Looking to buy a lantern, like every other stumbling soul in the city?" I see. Well, Captain Lena can rest assured that any potions I spot coming in will be set aside for the wounded. Hang on a moment. If you're carrying messages for the guard, does that mean you were there then? The battle at Holminster? A stalwart lass like you might want to pay a visit to the Wandering Stairs. Make herself known. I'm sure Glenard can introduce you to some interesting opportunities. Okay. Barkeep, I want something to drink. Let's talk to this fella.
I have no idea where your extraordinary good hearing is coming from. I can barely hear it, and it's right here.
I'm sorry.
Scylla, more beer for table 2 and a couple of pints of mead for table 3 while you're at it. Let's bring this mic a little closer. Alright, there we go. Coming right up. Sorry, we're rushed off our feet today, miss. Can I get you anything? Drinks around the house. Oh, that Braggy has a twisted sense of humor. Ha ha ha! To think he'd send you to me at a time like this.
Place.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty, isn't it? Real pretty, isn't it?
Graphics. Yeah. It's like
the first real night in near 100 years has folk all riled up and then some. What's more, there was that eater business at Holminster Switch. They say a light warden was destroyed without a damn trace, and it was the warrior of darkness who did the deed. I really must apologize for Glenard, Celia says. He's been almost as rowdy as our customers, and that's no small feat. Stella continues, a lot of our regulars are bounty hunters, you see. They mostly go out after eaters, and the rumor of the warrior's appearance on the was the spark to their kindling. Tripping over words today, aren't I? Gillard says, you know how the weak eaters are drawn to the strong ones, right? Yep. Aye, they swarm like angry bees around a queen. You need look no further than Holminster for proof to that. But attacks on the Skal don't happen every day, praise the blessed Shadow. No, the more common threats are the strays. No one knows why, but every now and again an eater will leave the pack to prowl alone. Those are the ones you run into on the road if your luck is foul. They're a danger to everyone, so the Settlement Council puts bounties on their heads, and our bar here is a convenient place for hunters to gather and share information. Scylla says, seems a few of them were inspired by the warden slaying. Even more than most. These are the types who have their sights set on the absolute worst of the strays, a class of eaters that have been dubbed the cardinal virtues. Hello, Oren.
Hello. So your live streaming is done?
No, I'm currently live streaming, yeah.
Oh, it's done, or you're still live streaming?
I'm still streaming it right now.
Oh.
Still stream.
The virtues showed up out of nowhere about 3 summers ago, and when historians heard the descriptions given by survivors, well, apparently they share an appearance with the villains who caused the flood. And if that doesn't send a chill down your spine, they're also reported to be as tough as light wardens. Not the kind of prey you can take down single-handed. Our virtue hunters had all but given up, but knowing the warrior of darkness is out there has lit a fire in their bellies. Just look at them. That Hume over there with the oversized sword is grandson. He's in it for revenge. Wants to recruit a comrade in arms as tenacious as he is. The Mistral lad is Luric. Don't be fooled by those dewy cheeks. He's as hard a hunter as they come. He just lost a partner and seems to be on the lookout for a new one. That's Sereg. Word is he seeks an expert in magecraft to help fight the virtue he's after. Last we have Giat, dwarf and drunkard both. Wanted to join forces with a healer, and only a healer. Something about needing a mender's wisdom. I've seen my share of competent veterans, and you have that look about you. Maybe you should introduce yourself to one of our hunters. Who knows? Together you might even collect the bounty on a cardinal virtue. Glynard says, now that's a grand idea. Imagine the prestige my bar would earn if we boasted the patronage of a successful virtue hunter. Alright, that gains me access to role quests. A separate quest line and story is now available for tank, physical DPS, magical DPS, and healer roles. In order to reach the final stages of Shadowbringers' main scenario, you must complete at least one role quest line. Speak with a virtue hunter at the Wandering Stairs to accept a quest offer.
Orange is live streaming on YouTube. I'm chatting here.
Yeah, I see. I'm in it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. There's a slight lag.
Oh, they cannot hear us there, right?
Yes, they can. That's why we're in here.
Oh. Sorry.
That's okay. Alright, so Sereg is eyeing me inquisitively. He's the one for my role that I'm doing. Sereg says, let me guess, you're standing in front of Sereg, bounty hunter non-paral, because you've a mind to aid me in felling the dread Ronesis. I can never say that name right. Did I have the right of it, or do I have the right of it? Oren, you're coming through with watching the stream, too. And Ixel's saying hi.
Hello.
Yeah, we're getting an echo of the stream through your mic, Oren. Hold on a second.
Oren, you're coming through with watching the stream too.
Alright, so what will I say? You have the right of it? Bron, what's it? Yeah, that's me. I can't say his name, so I'm gonna just say that. If I didn't know better, I could have sworn you just suggested that you're unfamiliar with that name that I can't say. But that couldn't be. No sinner worth her salt could be so ignorant. I think you're right, Ixel. Alright, so Sarek says, allow me to elaborate. This black mage isn't just what your run-of-the-mill stray sin eater. He's one of the nastiest the realm has seen, formed from the remains of one of the most God's damned warriors of light. There are 4 of them, all told, crawled up from the bowels of the deepest hell after being buried for nigh on a century. If the tales are true, people have come to call them the cardinal virtues. Before he was transformed into a sin eater, Phronesis, I'll just say Phronesis, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh well. Was none other than Archmagus Nilebert, whose baleful magics were feared the realm over. Though it's only been a few short years since he first showed up in Amarang, he's already preyed on far too many innocents with his foul sorcery. Not keen on seeing their trade routes disrupted, the local merchants have placed a healthy bounty on his head. Of course, I'd like nothing more than to fell the fiend single-handed and claim the entire bounty for myself. Unfortunately, circumstances have dictated that I recruit a companion. That's where you come in. Provided that you can prove to me that you possess the rather specialized set of skills that I require, I promise I'll make it worth your while. Not a bad offer, wouldn't you say? If you fancy yourself up to the task, come find me in Amarang. I mean to set off for there shortly. And yeah, Ixel, it's Ardbert. Alright, so got that picked up. But let's continue with main story for now, and we'll do all of that other stuff for the role later. Possibly in a different stream. Alright, so let's go to the inn. Which is over this way. Welcome back, miss, the manager of suites says. I wonder if anyone can sleep with a city in such an uproar, but will you be retiring to your quarters? Yes, I will. Very good. In light of the present situation, I have had illumination prepared for all our rooms. No need to rush to the markets for lanterns or candles. Have a pleasant rest, miss. Our ghostly friend.
So it's your lot's turn to be the Warriors of Darkness, is it? It's funny how things work out.
This is who Ixel was talking about. So what'll I say? Been watching, have you? Or these are my private quarters? I'll say been watching, have you?
Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Yulmore and then on to Armarang. And I was there when you slew the Light Warden.
Well, it might be spoilers for somebody who hasn't seen the story.
Those white-haired twins who are with you. I remember them from our battle in the Source. Are they your friends then? Through thick and thin? Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. When you charge ahead trying to save someone else,
well, we haven't
you
seen
end up
this
losing those you
specifically.
love.
Haven't seen this specifically, but we've seen him before.
Not that you need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder, what will it cost you this time?
Not wrong.
I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother.
Those eyelashes!
You get numb to it all over the years. The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles. Just more nagging burdens to ignore.
So this is what the light was hiding. She's here. I must go to her.
Meanwhile, inside an Imperial Magitech facility in the Source. It's the kill me alarms. Kill me.
Find out and find them.
Estinabro!
Out of my way.
How rude.
Stay your weapon. We are not your enemy. When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders. Sir Estinian, I presume. The dragoon who plucked the warrior of light from the jaws of death. Your armor is most distinct.
much as yours once was. But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places.
Also, pointy armor. Dragoon.
Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadow Hunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
Through no choice of my own, they tracked me down and conscripted me to their cause. I swear their receptionist was trained as a spy. Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed. And what of their champion?
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here. Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated. There will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
The gas is described as a poison, but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill.
Oh dear.
Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart. Released over a city, Black Rose could conceivably kill every inhabitant, and all without damaging a single structure.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
They're all a little young, Janet.
From what I hear, you need all the help you can get.
Estinian's older than some of them, though.
Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
Alright, the manager of suites is wearing a grave expression. Begging your pardons, miss, but do you perchance intend to head outside? If so, I would strongly advise you not to stray too far from the Crystarium. Word has it Yulmore has dispatched its military to Lakeland. Given the timing, one can only assume they do not welcome the return of night. Even now, the Exarch is in the Ocular, deliberating a response. Alright, going back to the Ocular. You mean Floor Inspector Ixel? Oh, it's raining. Look at that. Alright, let's go see if the guard gives us trouble getting in to see Crystal Exarch this time. Yes, I have business with him. Let me in!
You have come at a good time. As you may have heard, we have something of a quandary on our hands.
That's a little airship there.
Lax and Loft here in Lakeland. Yulmore has sent one of its airships. They have questions for us concerning the death of the Light Warden. Their emissary makes his way here even as we speak.
I suppose the sky does rather give the game away.
Indeed. 'Twas inevitable they would come knocking. The only question was how soon.
My lord, I am come with the Yulmoran emissary. May I show him in?
Well, we'll find out a name eventually, I'm sure.
A moment, Captain, if you would. Everyone, gather round.
So secretive.
I do not wish to show our hand prematurely. Forgive me this liberty. Vanish.
Oh man, we're invisible.
Enter. Well, well. The commander of the Yulmoran army himself. To what do I owe the honor, General Ranjit?
The Light Warden is dead, Exarch. Were your people responsible?
You are clearly in some haste, my lord. But before I address your question, you must allow me one of my own. What is Yulmore's interest in this?
His benevolence, Lord Vorthry, is gravely concerned that the actions of an ignorant few may jeopardize relations between man and Sin Eater. Should it transpire that the Crystarium is guilty of abetting the villains responsible for this outrage, my lord has decreed that it suffer the same retribution.
I see. Since you have been so candid, I too shall speak my mind. Regardless of who is responsible, the Crystarium rejoices in the Light Warden's death and welcomes the return of the night sky. If Yulmore considers this tantamount to aiding those you term villains, then by all means, carry out your retribution. Know, however, that even should every innocent soul in the Crystarium perish, nothing can stop that which has been set in motion.
Folly. The death of one or 1,000,000 Sin Eaters changes nothing. The world is dead, and writhe as we might, like maggots in its rotting course, it will not be reborn.
Alright, see you later,
Only
Axel.
by my master's
Thanks for
grace
dropping
may we
by.
live out our days in peace. But I waste my breath.
Okay.
You have made your stance clear. I shall relay your words to Lord Vorthry.
This guy. Oof.
In the meantime, you would do well to counsel any here who have done more than merely rejoice in recent events, to throw themselves upon Yulmore's mercy, promptly.
Alright. Enjoy your meal, Axel.
One last matter. We are searching for a young artist. And
Nice
his
to see you, man.
assistants. Know you of whom I speak?
An artist and his assistant? No. I cannot say I do.
What a pity. Should they reveal themselves to you, I bid you hand them over at once. My master is most eager to see them again.
Kind of get the feeling that he knows that they're there. Because they're looking right at him.
Am I imagining things, or did he just stare straight at us?
I fear he did. The General is not a man to be trifled with. He is a warrior of
That's what I
fierce
was thinking.
repute who has led Yulmore's army since before Vorthry's time, when the nation still spearheaded the fight against the Sin Eaters. One does not command the world's mightiest army, and for so long, without possessing exceptional instincts.
If Yulmore chose to send such an individual, we must assume this talk of retribution is more than an idle threat. While we are grateful for your support, my lord, we cannot in good conscience put your people in harm's way.
It is noble of you to say, Master Alphino, but my people have been in harm's way since long before you arrived.
This is true.
Yulmore has ever yearned to rule over what remains of the world. Even should we surrender the Warrior of Darkness to them, they would find some other pretext upon which to invade. The people of the Crystarium know this only too well, which is why, when the time comes, I am certain they will fight to the last man. If truth be told, I would not have been surprised had Ranjit declared war here and now.
He may have reason to delay. According to reports, the Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft were observed taking a prisoner. A young woman believed to be none other than the Oracle of Light, Minfilia. It may be that General Ranjit wishes to convey her to Yulmore before commencing hostilities. Having mentored generations of Minfilias, it would not surprise me if he had made her capture his chief concern.
He abducted a young girl. Alright, what am I gonna say? Wait, is this the Minfilia? Or, I'm sorry, generations of Minfilias? I'm gonna go with generations. I'm sorry, generations of Minfilias?
Ah, of course. How remiss of me. I had intended to speak to you of Minfilia. There is, however, much to say, and precious little time in which to say it. I think it best that you seek out Moren at the Cabinet of Curiosity. He will be able to enlighten you. Alphino, Alize, would you care to accompany your friend? You doubtless have insights of your own to offer on the matter.
Alright, so we're gonna go see Storybook Guy again.
Alrighty.
Alright. Though I'm still not sure I understand it all myself.
In the meantime, I will set about making provisions for war.
I can never get over how pretty that floor is.
Yeah.
Alright, to the Cabinet of Curiosity. Taking my sunglasses off.
My YouTube is... Okay, there it goes. I was loading for it a little bit.
Ah. I don't need to wear my sunglasses at night. Alright, Morin. Does Morin have another...
cool.
They do look cool. Alright, Morin says, yes, if you're after books pertaining to the Warrior of Darkness, I'm afraid most are out on loan at present. They are experiencing quite a surge in popularity. Oh, you wish to learn about the Oracle of Light? Then it would be my pleasure to assist. After I have finished off some few outstanding tasks, that is. While I attend to them, perhaps you could fetch me a book. The Illustrated Tales of the Oracle of Light, it's called. Though it's intended for younger readers, it provides an excellent summary of the subject matter, and the artwork is quite lovely besides. I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone with an interest in learning more about Minfilia. But you must see for yourself. The book should be located on the level below. Should, I say, for while there is a place for everything here, not everything is always in its place, despite my best efforts. In short, if the book is not where it should be, it will almost certainly be somewhere it shouldn't. So, good luck! Alright, time to go search the shelves. Down below. Where is the stairs? Stairs, stairs, stairs. There they are. Run, 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 run. Okay. Towering shelf. Let's search there. This book does not appear to be here. Okay.
But it should be somewhere, isn't it?
Somewhere? Oh, there's Elfino. No luck as of yet. Alright. No. Nothing there. Okay. Well, let's go a little lower. There's another shelf. The book does not appear to be here. Okay. Hi, LSA. Is there a stepladder we can borrow? Are you feeling short too? Well, let's try this spot. Just as your eyes begin to blur, they finally come to rest on a copy of The Illustrated Tale of the Oracle of Light. Alright, well, let's take it upstairs and have a look. found the book, or found the book. Have you found the book? Yes, I found the book. That's what I just said.
Did you find the book?
Yes, I found the book. Here's the book. Yes, Morin says, this is the one. I hope it isn't too difficult to track, or hope it wasn't too difficult to track down. I'm happy to say I've finished all my pressing tasks. If you want to call your friends over, we can begin learning at once. Morin says, without further ado then. Morin says, it began 100 years ago, when the flood of light threatened to swallow Novra. Just as all seemed lost, a savior appeared who halted the all-consuming radiance, a maiden with hair of spun gold and eyes of clearest sapphire. Naught was known about her save that her name was Minfilia, and for delivering the realm she came to be revered as the Oracle of Light. After stopping the flood, the mysterious maiden vanished without a trace, but 15 years later her name would unexpectedly reappear in the annals of history. When Sin Eaters laid ruin to the kingdom of Obert, a young girl was discovered who was immune to the creature's blighted touch. One with hair of spun gold and eyes of clearest sapphire. She was hailed as the Oracle Reborn and came to likewise be called Minfilia. Enlisting in the Yulmoran army, this Minfilia fought and vanquished countless Sin Eaters. Alas, like so many other soldiers, she eventually met her end in battle. Yet with her dying breath, she whispered unto her grieving comrades, Minfilia will return. And true to her words, some years later, another young girl was discovered who possessed the selfsame eyes, that selfsame hair, and those selfsame powers. She too took the name Minfilia. She too fought Sin Eaters as a soldier of Yulmor, and she too fell in battle. Many more were to follow in her footsteps, and so the cycle continues to this day. And that concludes the tale. By their valor and sacrifice, these women have saved Novra on numerous occasions. And were it not for them, we might never have learned of the Light Wardens and their nature. They sound like formidable warriors, Elisay says. Morin says, some, perhaps. The truth is rather less simple. Though the Oracle is reborn with certain common traits, she does not inherit the memories or the knowledge of her previous incarnations. All of the Minfilias thus far were discovered as ordinary girls, unversed in the ways of war and ignorant of the power they harbored. While some embraced their fate and devoted themselves to training, others did not. But all were made to face the Sin Eaters, and all died to keep our hopes alive. What can you tell us about the current Minfilia? She was found in the Yulmaran army some 10 years ago, or by the army some 10 years ago, and taken into their care. Or rather, their custody. She was a prisoner in all but name, for by that time, under Lord Valthry's rule, Yulmor was already abandoned, had already abandoned resistance in favor of decadence. Minfilia was an uncomfortable reminder of the war they no longer wished to fight, a potential threat to the peace, and so they kept her under lock and key. For a long while, we heard nothing more of her. We couldn't even be certain she was alive, save that it was in the Yulmorans' best interests for her to remain under their control. But then, 3 years ago, a gallant soul stole into the city and rescued her from their clutches, just like a hero from the tales. Indeed, Alphino says. Well, I believe we now have a good grasp of Minfilia's tale. Thank you for your time, Morin. Alphino says, might I trouble you for a word, Lithingal, outside? Yeah, sure. Let's go. Whee! Geronimo. Alright, let's talk to Alphino. Alphino says, as you will have already surmised, the gallant soul who rescued Minfilia was none other than our own dear Thancred. They have since been wandering the land together, never remaining in one place for long, which is why we have not yet had a chance to meet them. Elisay says, we know that Minfilia journeyed here as Heidelin's emissary to halt the flood of light. It could only be her that the people of the first witnessed 100 years ago, the original Oracle of Light. Elisay says, but while there's plainly some connection between the woman we knew and her namesakes, the fact that these girls do not share her memories must surely mean they are not the same person. Thancred has to understand that. Alphino says, I have no doubt that he understands. The question is how he feels. Regardless, the Thancred we know would not forsake his charge. Alphino says, if she has been captured, we may be certain he will not stand idly by. Elisay says, there you go again, talking in your roundabout way. If you think we should rescue Minfilia, just spit it out. It just so happens I agree with you. It's quite clear that this Minfilia possesses Heidelin's blessing. And it wouldn't hurt to have a second such individual on our side. Right. What will I say? Quite? Or one's generally been enough but fine? Yes, we'll say quite. I see you've made up your minds. Here comes the Exarch. Alphino says, Exarch, what brings you here? Exarch says, a report and a proposal. First, the report. Our scouts have confirmed that the Yulmoran forces at Laxton Loft do indeed have Minfilia in their custody. For the present, they are holding her there, but we can be certain they will move her to Yulmore ere long. Should that happen, we may be forced to give her up as lost. Elisay says, so if we mean to act, we should do it quickly. Exarch says, which brings me to my proposal. I ask that you entrust this undertaking to us, the people of the Crystarium. Well, well, well. The Exarch is eager to delve into the details of his proposal. Alright, I'm going to leave it here for the time being. And end the stream and take a break.
Alrighty.
Alright, I may continue this later tonight. We'll see. Otherwise, there will definitely be more tomorrow. But possibly later tonight. I'll let you know when I've decided. Alright.
Cool.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Alright, bye guys.
Bye.